Hello, everyone. My name is Joy Ruth B. Asenas, a graduate student taking up Master of Arts in Education, major in Teaching English Communication Arts in Lourdes College, Philippines. And I am thrilled to present my research on the effectiveness of audio-assisted repeated reading and peer-mediated reading in enhancing the oral reading fluency of senior high school learners. This study is particularly close to my heart as it addresses a fundamental aspect of literacy which is essential for academic success. The rationale behind this study stems from the pressing need to improve oral reading fluency among senior high school students. Research indicates that oral reading fluency is critical, not only for academic performance, but also for long-term literacy development. With many students struggling with reading, it becomes imperative to identify effective interventions. This study on improving oral reading fluency in senior high school learners is grounded in automaticity theory by Labarge and Samuels and the zone of proximal development by Lev Vygotsky. Automaticity theory suggests that reading becomes fluent when students recognize words effortlessly, allowing them to focus on comprehension. Audio-assisted repeated reading supports this by offering repeated, engaging exposure to text, helping students build an oral fluency. Meanwhile, Vygotski's ZPD highlights the value of guidance in helping learners to move beyond what they can do alone. In this study, audio-assisted repeated reading and peer-mediated reading act as scaffolding tools supporting struggling readers within ZPD. By integrating these theories, these show how targeted interventions can significantly enhance oral reading fluency, support literacy growth. The research objective in this study is to determine the effectiveness of audio-assisted repeated reading and peer-mediated reading in enhancing the oral reading fluency, accuracy, and reading comprehension of senior high school learners. It also aims to assess how these interventions impact learners categorized as instructional and frustrated level readers. The study used quasi-experimental research design to test the effect of the intervention on the participants. It involves two groups, each comprised of 30 participants for a total of 60 learners, identified to be at the instructional and frustrated reading levels. The first group was exposed to the audio-assisted repeated reading and the other group was on the peer-mediated reading. To measure the progress, the researcher conducted pre-test and post-tests using the PhilErie or the Philippine Informal Reading Inventory assessment tool. This allowed for the comparison of the students' oral reading fluency before and after the intervention to determine the effectiveness of the interventions. The research methodology included the use of descriptive statistics, the Wilcoxon signed rank test, and ANCOVA. Ethical considerations were also addressed, including obtaining approval from the Research Ethics Committee and ensuring adherence to proper protocols throughout the study. Result shows that participants who underwent the audio-assisted repeated reading intervention showed significant improvements in both reading accuracy and comprehension compared to those in the peer-mediated group. Furthermore, it shows that the audio-assisted repeated reading not only enhanced the overall oral reading fluency, but also led to greater engagement and retention of the reading material. In contrast, while peer-mediated reading did facilitate some improvements, its effects were less pronounced than those of audio-assisted repeated reading, suggesting that the audio element in repeated reading acts as a vital component in boosting learners' fluency. The findings align with existing literature that supports the efficacy of structured reading interventions, highlighting the importance of targeted reading strategies for students facing challenges. The study concluded that audio-assisted repeated reading is a more effective intervention then peer-mediated reading in enhancing the oral reading fluency of senior high school students, particularly in terms of accuracy and comprehension, thereby emphasizing the need for evidence-based reading strategies in educational practices. Consequently, the researcher recommends that language educators may implement audio-assisted repeated reading and similar evidence-based methodologies to foster better reading skills and enhance literacy outcomes among struggling readers. Language teachers in public senior high school are encouraged to integrate audio-assisted repeated reading into their reading interventions, while instructional institutions may offer training on research-based reading strategies to address learners' oral reading fluency challenges. Here are some of the references on which the study was based. The impact of this study is significant. This study established a clear connection between audio-assisted repeated reading and improved oral reading fluency, specifically regarding accuracy and comprehension. This emphasizes the need for educational strategies that are not just theoretical, but grounded in empirical evidence. The researcher hopes that this study provides a valuable contribution to literacy education by guiding future interventions. Before I end, I'd like to share that this research journey has been incredibly enlightening. It has deepened my understanding of educational challenges and reinforced my commitment to supporting literacy among students. Thank you so much for listening.